There is no reason for this city to exist. It sits in the driest desert in North America, where summer temperatures hit 120 degrees and water is scarce. It has no port, no river, no natural resources, no strategic value. And yet, 2.3 million people live here. 40 million tourists visit annually. More money moves through this valley than through most countries. Las Vegas isn't a place, it's a technology, a machine for transforming desire into concrete, glass, and light. Quick montage. Native American petroglyphs to Mormon settlers to Hoover Dam construction to Bugsy Siegel's Flamingo to 1950s. Atomic tourism to 1980s corporate takeover to modern mega resorts to Sphere. The Neon Mirage, how Las Vegas invented modern America. Act 1. The Empty Quarter. 10,000 years ago, this valley held a lake, Lake Las Vegas, 500 feet deep, teeming with mammoths and giant sloths. The climate changed, the water vanished. What remained was a basin of salt and creosote bush, so harsh that the southern Paiute called it the place of little water. The Mojave is the most extreme desert in North America. Death Valley is here. The Nevada test site is here. Las Vegas shouldn't work by any rational metric of urban geography. That's precisely why it became what it became, because it was empty, because no one else wanted it, because it was a blank screen. In 1829, Mexican trader Antonio Armijo passed through with his caravan, seeking a shortcut to Los Angeles. His scout, Rafael Rivera, found water here, artesian springs that would sustain the valley's first permanent settlement. They named it Las Vegas, the Meadows. The Mormons came first in 1855, building a fort to protect the mail route. They left after 2 years, the heat, the isolation, the Paiute resistance, too much even for the faithful. The railroad arrived in 1905. William Clark, a Montana copper baron, auctioned off lots on what is now Fremont Street. Downtown Las Vegas was born. A water stop, a railroad town, a divorce mill for wealthy Easterners seeking quick exits from marriage. Nevada legalized gambling in 1931, not out of some frontier libertarianism, but out of desperation. The state was bankrupt. The mines were dying. They needed revenue. They would legalize anything. Gambling, quickie divorces, even prostitution in certain counties. Las Vegas became the place where Americans could do what they couldn't do at home. But the real transformation came from water, and from the federal government that Las Vegas would later claim to despise. Act 2. Concrete, steel, and sin. In 1931, the same year gambling was legalized, construction began on Boulder Dam, later Hoover Dam. 6,000 workers descended on the desert. They needed entertainment. They needed vice. And when the dam was finished in 1936, they needed jobs. The dam created Lake Mead, the largest reservoir in America. It powered Los Angeles, Phoenix, the entire Southwest. But it also powered Las Vegas, literally, with cheap electricity, and figuratively, with a workforce that knew how to build in the desert. The federal government spent $49 million on the dam. Las Vegas got the spillover. Dam workers made good money, $1.25 an hour, equivalent to $25 today. But they spent it in Vegas. Casinos sprouted along Fremont Street. The El Rancho Vegas opened in 1941 on Highway 91, the future strip. The Thunderbird, the Desert Inn, the Sands followed. World War II paused growth, but the post-war boom would make Las Vegas inevitable. Then came Benjamin Bugsy Siegel, and the Flamingo. Recreation, Seagull in Hollywood, vision of luxury resort, construction chaos. Seagull was a murder-incorporated hitman who dreamed bigger. He saw Las Vegas not as a desert gambling hall, but as a desert Monte Carlo. He built the Flamingo with stolen mob money, $6 million in 1946 dollars, overrun costs that enraged his bosses. He opened in December 1946, failed immediately, closed, reopened, and on June 20th, 1947, was shot through the eye in Beverly Hills. The Flamingo survived. The mob had too much invested to let it fail. The mob built modern Las Vegas. Not just the casinos, the infrastructure. They controlled the Teamsters Union, which lent pension fund money for construction. They controlled the skim, cash leaving casinos before it was counted, untaxed, flowing to Chicago, New York, Miami. For 20 years, Las Vegas was the mob's most successful investment. The 1950s perfected the Las Vegas formula. The Rat Pack, Sinatra, Martin, Davis Jr., made the Strip cool. Nuclear tests at the Nevada test site, 65 miles away, made it surreal. Tourists watched atomic clouds rise from casino rooftops. Dawn parties celebrated the blasts. The government assured everyone the fallout was harmless. It wasn't. Las Vegas sold the apocalypse as entertainment. It sold segregation as glamour. Sammy Davis Jr. could perform at the Sands, but couldn't stay in the hotel. It sold water in the desert, money for nothing, sin without consequence. These weren't lies. They were operational principles. Act 3. Corporate Vegas and the experience economy. In 1966, Howard Hughes checked into the Desert Inn and didn't leave for 4 years. The billionaire recluse bought the hotel to avoid eviction, then bought the Strip, $300 million in casino purchases. He was the wedge that broke the mob. The Nevada Gaming Commission, under pressure from the federal government, began licensing corporations instead of criminals. Hilton bought the Flamingo. MGM bought the Desert Inn. The mob was pushed out, not by morality, but by quarterly earnings reports. Vegas became respectable, and respectability almost killed it. Corporate Vegas was boring. It was efficient. It was clean. But it had no story, no danger, no glamour. By the early 1980s, Atlantic City had legalized gambling. Vegas was aging, tacky, irrelevant. It needed reinvention or death. Steve Wynn provided both. In 1989, he opened the Mirage, $630 million, the most expensive hotel casino in history. It had a volcano. It had white tigers. It had Siegfried and Roy. It had no theme, or rather, the theme was expensive. And it worked. Wynn proved that Vegas wasn't about gambling anymore. It was about the experience, a term that would consume American capitalism. The Bellagio's fountains, the Venetian's canals, New York's roller coaster. These were malls that happened to have casinos, or rather, casinos disguised as theme parks. Gambling revenue fell from 60% of casino income to 30%. The house still won, but now it won on restaurants, shows, shopping, hotel rooms. Las Vegas invented the experience economy before economists named it. Disney perfected the theme park. Vegas perfected the theme city. It was postmodern, simulacra without originals, copies of copies. The Venetian has a canal, but no water connection. Paris Las Vegas has an Eiffel Tower that's half-scale. Its architecture as quotation, as meme, as pure surface. Between 1990 and 2010, Las Vegas became the fastest growing city in America. 2 million people arrived, chasing cheap housing, service jobs, a new start. The suburbs sprawled across the desert: Henderson, Summerlin, North Las Vegas. Tract homes with pools in the driest state. It was unsustainable. Everyone knew it. No one stopped. Act 4. Collapse, resurrection, and the sphere. 2008 broke Las Vegas. The housing bubble burst hardest here. Subprime mortgages, speculative building, entire ghost neighborhoods in the desert. Unemployment hit 14%. Nevada led the nation in foreclosures, in bankruptcies, in suicide. The Strip kept building, city center cosmopolitan, but the city behind it was dying. Vegas should have died in 2008. By every rational metric, water, energy, economics, it was finished. But it didn't die. It adapted. It pivoted. It became something else, again. The recovery came from unexpected places. Tesla's Gigafactory in northern Nevada, data centers, Amazon, Google, Switch, drawn by cheap land and cheaper power. And the final evolution of the experience, sports and spectacle. In 2017, Vegas got its first major professional sports team, the Golden Knights NHL expansion. In 2020, the Raiders NFL team arrived. In 2023, Formula One closed the Strip for a race that cost $500 million to host. Gambling was now a sideshow. The main event was being there, seeing it, posting it. And then the Sphere, $2.3 billion, the largest spherical structure on Earth. Exosphere LED skin visible from space. Interior 16K resolution screen. It's not a casino. It's not a hotel. It's pure immersion, pure content, pure Las Vegas. An architecture of overwhelming sensation, built in a desert, powered by Hoover Dam's electricity, funded by debt and desire. Sphere footage, exosphere animations, interior concert, audience reactions. The Sphere is the logical endpoint of Las Vegas architecture. It has no function except experience. It sells nothing except presence. It's the most expensive building in a city of expensive buildings, in a state that shouldn't have cities, in a desert that shouldn't have water. It's absurd. It's perfect. Conclusion. The Mirage endures, 1930 to 20. Las Vegas has been a railroad stop, a mob town, a corporate resort, a suburban disaster, and now a content machine. It has no reason to exist, which is why it can become anything. It is the American id made geography. Desire without limit, consumption without consequence, reinvention without memory. Lake Mead is at historic lows. The Colorado River is drying. The heat is becoming lethal. The house always wins, but the desert is patient. And yet, 40 million people will come this year. They will lose money. They will take selfies. They will believe for a weekend that water flows uphill, that luck can be manufactured, that the future is bright and loud and always hopes. Las Vegas isn't real. That's why it works.